How are you today? The facial expression you're giving me.
I'm good. I would love a day off. But I'm good. How are you?
I had one of the worst days, but
It's been a rough week for everybody that I know.
they're handing out mental breakdowns like candy in the universe today.
They really are.
This week, kind of just generally, not really too hot. Had a really good morning and then fully blew up. Just went up in flames.
It's only Thursday.
Yeah, it's only fucking Tuesday.
My friend sent me a video. Well, she sent me the synopsis of a video. And she's like, I saw this video and it's like, I went through a Tuesday. A horrible Tuesday. Just to wake up and for it to be Wednesday.
How dare it?
I know.
I should have at least gotten to skip one.
Right.
I feel like you should earn those, like tokens.
Yeah.
Like, this day was so bad. I should get to skip.
You get a free day tomorrow, you know? That's how it should be.
Really? We should. I'm hoping we have a good weekend. Okay, hello, we're Illiterate-ly.
Hi.
And we're usually much more cheery than this, but it's actually going to be a good episode. I'm very excited. My name is Gina.
My name is Belle.
And together, we are two girls that sit and gossip about books and other stuff that's happening. Hanging out, yeah. So we're just, we are incredibly educated. We have 4 college degrees between the two of us, but we don't use them here.
No.
We just gossip. We're just hanging out. We're just gossiping. And then every once in a while, something annoys one of us. And we talk about it.
Yeah. Incessantly.
We be yapping.
Me.
Quite a bit. And today we're talking about Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez. I don't have a speech impediment. I have a Midwestern accent.
Abby Jimenez.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm no longer allowed to say her name.
This is the one name I get.
Here's the deal. I'm not mean, I'm dumb. Okay?
Me.
I'm not mean, I'm incapable. Okay? Okay. My mouth for some reason just cannot form those syllables together. They never have been. I took Spanish in college. I got in so much trouble all of the time. All of the time.
Is it the he?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've always had trouble with that. I do think that I have had a speech impediment since I was like small.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just so obnoxious that my mom was like, you'll grow out of it. Because I'm not taking you to somebody for you to talk more.
Facts.
So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
So, we start with our star ratings.
Yes.
So, Fall Risk has a 4.5 stars with 3,059 ratings on Amazon. And it has a 4.3 stars with 60,800 ratings on Goodreads. This is an overwhelmingly loved book.
Rightfully, though.
I fully agree. What did you give it?
I gave it a 4.
A 4?
A 4?
I gave it a 5. I gave it 5 stars.
It was so...
No?
There was no spice. And I like a little spice in my books.
Ugh, I'm aware.
Just
okay,
little.
you have to give the review. You get 5 sentences to review.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well written. Progressed well. Logical thinking.
What a concept here.
Funny. Adorable. None of those were sentences.
We'll take it.
But yeah.
We'll take it.
It was bullet points.
Yeah. Mine is the story needed to exist in a way that all women's stories deserve to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot get over how this is what Katie Robert was trying to do, and it was actually done right this time. If you didn't watch last week's episode, this is a side note. If you didn't watch last week's episode, I'll link it in the cards, and you'll understand. The banter and the puns are so much fun in this book. It felt like a full-length novel while only being 82 pages. The story arc felt complete.
Mm-hmm.
I will be reading all of Abby's other works. Thank you very much. Good night.
Respectfully.
Respectfully. I love your writing so much. So much.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. Especially because the other series we're doing is Book Bites. If you watch that, and we're reading Zodiac Academy, compared to that,
Like,
this is God tier. I mean, it's God tier anyway.
It's really good, and it just, I like that you brought up it's a short story, but it didn't feel that short.
Yeah, like, we only read novellas.
Mm-hmm. Well, this one was only 80 pages.
Yeah.
Which, looking back, I'm like, no, like, it
wasn't.
didn't register that it was only 80 pages.
No.
Like, it was fully developed.
I'm so obsessed.
I wish we got a little more. I always want a little more.
You just want to see them have sex.
Not always.
That was literally your point in the beginning.
That's why it wasn't a 5. But this one, I felt content not having the more after.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Because, like, there's some of them that I'm like, they were so close to being a 5 because everything was perfect, but it was just too short. This one wasn't too short.
This one, I get where the tension was so good.
It was.
The tension was so good. However, I will say, like, I did know going into this that they probably wouldn't. The author, is known for having slow burn romances. Like, her books are longer and are known for being slow burn romances. So I knew that they weren't.
I'm glad I read her novella. I will say, the tension was so good, I did not notice nothing was happening.
I was so obsessed. I didn't care. I just wanted to know.
It was the fact that she liked his tree knowledge and puns.
Shut up. We're going to talk about it chapter by chapter. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So, chapter 1 is in Seth's point of view.
Before chapter 1.
Oh.
I don't know what this called. The prologue. Dedication.
I was going to say, there's no prologue to this book.
I just be throwing book words out sometimes.
You said maybe this will stick. I said, ma'am, there was no prologue in this.
It says, for all the women who chose the bear and all the men who do the work to understand why. Period.
I love it.
Me too. That whole debacle, we can talk about it later, but wild.
Wow. We're going to talk about it chapter by chapter.
Okay.
So the first chapter is Seth's point of view.
Correct.
The stairs in his apartment complex are gone. They simply have ceased to exist. Him and his new neighbor Charlotte are going to have to wait out the weekend here as they are the only ones in this building. They refused a hotel. I'm obsessed that she walks out with bear spray in her hands.
I did not know bear spray was illegal to use on humans.
Is that true?
That's what it says in here.
I didn't register that.
He was like, isn't that illegal to work on a person? But it's because it has a higher accuracy further away and you don't get as much whiplash.
Yeah, I don't care. I want bear spray.
Yeah.
That sounds right to me. Also, cool for him to be an arborist. That's an awesome job. That's like just a cool job to have. I love that is a thing that somebody was like, we should make it about that.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. And I also loved Seth the moment he said, if I'm motivated enough, I'll figure it out. I said, me too. Me too. Do I know anything about that? No. But if I'm motivated enough, you best believe My phone really vibrated like I was going low. It's just the health app saying that it's my bedtime. It's not bedtime. I set my bedtime for 11 o'clock, and it's like, hey, get ready for bed, and it does the like wind down thing.
Okay, I was like, it is 9:45.
I have 2 toddlers who get up at 6 a.m.
That's wild. I say that like I don't wake up at 5 a.m. 3
Evelyn
days a week.
slapped me in the face the other day
Yeah.
and said, Mama, I want muffins. I also love that the landlord acknowledges that this is something that doesn't, because he's like, says like, it happens, and the landlord's like, no, it doesn't. It fully doesn't, dude.
I love that was the very first sentence. The stairs are gone.
He's on the phone. The stairs are gone.
I reread that 3 times because I'm like, grammatically, this makes sense.
But like, physically, I'm confused.
I do not know what is happening right now.
I have to say, so this is one, like, when you do Kindle, and Belle was saying this is absolutely wild and she'd never seen this before. I've done it a few times, but you don't listen. You don't do audiobooks. But it's one that will do Kindle audio too. So it's not Audible, which is a fully different thing. This is Kindle audio, which means that you can like read along. It like highlights the words as it like reads it to you. I love it when they do that. I've done it a few times. But they fumbled the bag on Gabe's voice actor.
Oh no.
When I tell you he sounds like Dopey from Snow White, they fumbled the bag. Do I think that man has a normal voice? Yes. Did he use it when voicing this character? Absolutely no, he did not.
Because like to me, Gabe's kind of a himbo.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with that. Actually, we are in agreement on this himbo equator. However, he does not sound like that. He sounds like a doped up 30-year-old skater dude. Like, I like Gabe's character.
Yes.
I did not like the choices of this voice actor. I did not like this voice actor.
Oof.
It was not. But why is Seth low-key dumb for not knowing, like, homegirl got? It was so obvious. And then he's like, I was like, hey, bro, how are you not noticing? And then he's like, it's because today my divorce is final. And I was like, whoop, well, there it is. That's why you didn't notice. That's why you didn't know. And then he's like, what she wanted was totally effed up, to be totally honest. Which made it a little easier to come to terms with, but still. I said, the tea. It's piping hot. Where is it at? Bring it to the table.
My brain is so lost at this moment.
At the end of chapter 1.
Yes.
She's like standing there with bear spray. And she's like, Charlotte's like being weird and kind of cagey. And she's like, yeah, I'd rather like have a ladder. Like I don't want like, and I want it up here. I don't want it left down there.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's weird. That's weird. And I'm like, how do you not know?
That's not okay.
How do you
I
not
see what you
know
mean.
that Charlotte, she got? Like something happened. How do you not know?
Even not just like, I would want the ladder up too.
I fully agree with that.
I see what you mean.
As a woman, but also between the bear spray, and then not wanting anything that can be used from the ground.
Yes.
How do we not know there's trauma there?
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, it's probably because today my divorce got finalized.
Wild.
And then he's like, but what my ex-wife wanted was totally effed up, to be honest, which made it a little easier to come to terms with. But still. The tea is piping hot and I need a Chinese like tea ceremony immediately, please. I'm sad.
I can't wait till we talk about the ex-wife.
Oh my god. When I tell you it was Alex had not been around, and then I sat down to sew my evening gown while it was playing, and Alex was sitting there and he goes, I'm gonna need you to pause that. What did they say?
That's a lot to digest.
What did they say? But we'll get there. First, in this first chapter on page 14,
Yes.
Gabe says, I need you to not spill tree facts. Because I know that when you get nervous, you go, did you know most trees are male? The way they fonted that was a shot to the heart. The way they fonted that, because it's all like uppercase and lowercase in like the weird like 2010s girl, like when he tells you that he loves you, like, oh my god, it looks like someone vomited in a limited too. And
it was beautiful.
It was so perfect.
It was beautiful.
I have never felt so like seen and also attacked, honestly.
Yeah.
It feels like something that like you or Alex would say to me, to be like, for the love of God, do not tell that person, that interviewer, your latest hyperfixation. Please, depending on what it is. It changes rapidly, but you always know, because I always do tell you.
Yes.
And you talk to me in this font.
I would. Also, so I'm Belle, but my full name is Isabel. Don't go by it. So formal. Not me. And I've never gone by Izzy. They're like growing up, my neighbors next door, they called me Izzy. Barely saw them. But to them, I was Izzy. They're the only person I was ever Izzy to. And like whenever I see Izzy, I get like immediate ick, you know, like seeing your own name in a book. And I love
would
Izzy.
Never know that. I've never had that experience in my life.
Really?
I have never read a book with someone named Gina in it. Even as a side character.
I will be finding a book with Gina.
But I love Izzy. But I think also not the name.
Okay.
I love Izzy the character.
Correct.
But I would never associate Izzy with you, but I also very rarely associate Isabel with you.
Yeah.
I also regularly forget that your full name is Isabel. I think my mother has asked me, is her full name Isabel or Isabella? And I'm like, no idea. I don't know.
That's a great question.
Her full name is Belle. Thank you. I know both of your middle names and your last name. And your first name does escape me at some point. Which is stupid because your name, you go by Belle. So it's very obvious what your full name would be.
Still in question.
Still don't know. Somebody could be like, you know Isabel? I'd be like, I don't know her. That's my purse. I don't know you. That's my purse. I don't know you. Thank you. Next. I don't know you. I'm gonna be fully honest.
Yeah.
You were like, yeah, it was really like, my neighbors used to call me Izzy, but I go by this different nickname. As someone with a 4-letter name who was desperate for a nickname as a child, I did get a little jealous. And now I'm wondering if maybe that's why I thought you were cool in high school.
Because I had 2 nicknames.
Because you had the choice of so many nicknames. of so many nicknames. Like, so many names to choose from. And I was desperate. Like, for like, a very long time. Desperate for a nickname. Not that I don't like my name.
Yeah. You got G.
My mom called me G.
Yeah.
But then it turned into that thing where it was that stupid, like, late 2000s things, early 2010s. Homie G was, like, a really big thing to call people. And then it just didn't feel special anymore.
That's valid.
It just didn't feel special anymore. There are Facebook posts, I'm sure, if my Facebook wasn't private, that people could find, of people calling me Homie G on my...
Wild.
Ugh.
The book.
The book. We're back to the book.
The book.
Speaking of hyperfixations. So, we find out why Girly Pop is spooked. She has a stalker, and her best friend, Izzy, encourages her to talk to the guy next door because she's already vetted him as a licensed PI. I love that, like, Izzy breezes in chapter 1 and is like, Pitbull, full Pitbull. Like, you better, I'll come at you.
The sock on the bat.
I'm going to talk about that.
Okay.
That is the best fun fact I've ever learned, and I will be doing it. So, breezes in Pitbull, and then you find out she's got all the bite to back it up in chapter 2.
Yes.
She is the most badass person.
Yes.
I want a military girl group.
Yeah.
To go to Galentine's Day brunch with.
Yeah.
That sounds so cool.
The raw female power in that room.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I would feel like a baby. Like, I would feel like so secure and like taken care of. Like, I don't think I've ever felt that safe.
Yeah.
To think of, like, people that are, like, that able to defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever felt that safe in a room.
Yeah, I get that.
Because if you think of, like, things you've had to do as a woman just constantly.
Yeah.
And then you're in a room of women who are doing that for you because they not only take care of themselves, but they take care of everyone around them.
Yeah. Chef's kiss.
The break my brain would take.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Also, Izzy became my favorite character of all time when she said, "Women solve entire murders on their podcast. You think I can't find out all I need to know about some rando I met on the lawn?"
On the lawn.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, she's
me.
Amazing.
Me listening to my favorite murder. And every true crime girly.
Yeah.
Let me know in a comment if you want to know. I'll let you know. It's not just Bailey Sarian. I will let you know. Danielle Christie. She's doing great out there. She does great work.
So I follow along with true crime via like behavioral stuff. So like a lot of behavior, like body behavior and body language people.
Like Observe,
and then the behavioral panel.
Mm-hmm.
I like them a lot, and it's fun.
I have a Bella Fiore. Like, there's something very helpful in true crime for me.
Mm-hmm.
In the fact that I have extreme anxiety, and if it's happened before, that I know what pattern not to continue.
Yes.
And that's how I feel about true crime.
I feel that.
The reiteration that was needed here of, like, they never do it. Like, law enforcement never does anything until it's too late.
Retweet.
Speaking of it being too late, it might be too late for my blood sugar. I'm hungry.
Did you have dinner? Probably not.
I did. Alex feeds me dinner.
Was that the only meal you had?
No, I had pretzels and peanut butter for lunch.
It's not a meal.
I think that's subjective, and also get out. We're recording a podcast. I'm the one that said I was hungry, but I am legitimately hungry. I'm
'Cause
gonna text Alex and have him.
you had one meal and a snack today.
Anyway, chapter 2 is really important to me because
Yes.
this is something that I think is really last week's episode
Yes.
when we talked about the Kraken sacrifice
Mm-hmm.
and how Kat just kept saying the same thing over and over again, and it didn't feel like it was going anywhere, and it was like just not good, and it was really bad, and it was part of the reason that that book was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
This book also said the same thing over and over again about the fact that the stalkers won't leave her alone.
Yeah.
But this is the difference, and something that really I think makes the difference for me.
Mm-hmm.
So on page 22, it says, "It was the only silver lining that and now I had excellent marksmanship. I could put 5 rounds rapid fire into the center mass from 10 yards away while chewing gum and listening to an audiobook." So this highlight is significant because it shows that there's another side to her,
Mm-hmm.
that you have something else. Like Charlotte, it's humor, but it could be intelligence or kindness or something. And all that Catalina was this like depressing, horrible, awful self-hatred, loathing, awfulness.
Yes.
It was so bad.
Pit of despair.
But you can do a repetitive thing, and this is a master class in how you do it,
Yeah.
in how to weave it in to because yes, this is a recurrent like all-consuming thought,
Yeah.
but it's woven into everyday life. Like she still has to live
Yeah.
and exist. And we don't learn anything about the fact that she is an accountant, and nobody cares.
No.
But it's still she still lives and exists. You know?
Correct,
She's
yeah.
still a human being
Yeah.
who exists on the planet.
And I kind of like that we don't go into her job as much because she's more than her job in this instance.
And her job is boring.
It is.
And also she hates her job.
Yeah. So why do we want to know
Not
about
that she hates being Ooh, I apologize. The low is really getting to me. She likes being an accountant.
Mm-hmm.
She hates working from home because of this thing.
Correct.
It's also woven into this thing, you know?
Yeah.
But they still navigate. She likes being an accountant. That's another piece of it. We would have never heard about that in the Kraken sacrifice. Kat is fired from her job. You never find out what that job was.
No.
And you never find out, what city she had to leave.
No.
Or anything. She never has a personality or a person.
Yeah.
And this one specifically is a master class in how you weave that into everything. And I also love that Charlotte is like, I don't put on mascara to go bring this man coffee. Because it's a casual date. I put on a lot of other makeup, but it's a casual date.
Mascara.
That's me. I feel that to my core. Well, I have to feel I like makeup and I want to do the thing to psych myself up, but I'm not about to put on mascara because then you'll know that I put in effort.
See, to me, mascara is the bare minimum.
My DoorDash is here.
But I also have pale eyelashes. And so, if I don't wear mascara... That was nice.
It was a good one.
That was very nice.
The fact that my depth perception is the thing that's the most thrown off by this low, and I can't exist in this space.
Is it going up at all?
It is in fact going down, but just significantly more slowly this time. My arrow's straight, which means that I'm even.
Good.
Not going down. So
Yay.
it does not mean that my depth perception or the fact that I can't feel my thumbs is any better. But it does mean it's not going to get any worse. So
Okay, well, I'll talk for a little bit.
Okay.
I love that Seth recognizes human emotions in her. All this talk on like TikTok and everything, it's always like book boyfriends. Like people are like, like get judged for book boyfriends and stuff. It's like this is the kind of stuff though. This is the written by a woman antics. Like he recognizes she has hesitation about going into his building, like in his room, apartment. And so he finds a solution. We'll hang out in the little patio and we'll make it fun.
In chapter 3, yep.
And it's beautiful.
I literally said they're amazing and I love them.
Yes. Also, I love, like, at the end of chapter 1, he's like, I'm not gonna like her. Like, tells Gabe, like, no, no, no. And then to himself, he's like, but.
I might kind of like her.
And then she's like, I don't like him or nothing. But, like, in denial. We love to see it.
I love it. I also love in chapter 3, Charlotte does tell Seth pretty much immediately about her stalker. Like, when she feels comfortable enough and she's like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, just so you know. In a way that was like, hey, I might see this as a friendship, so, like, I want you to be aware of, like, why I might seem sketched out a lot.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really nice. I also need to tell you something that I think is a really weird coincidence. And this is, I don't know what this is. It's really strange to me. The amount of bank tellers that have stalkers is insane.
Really?
So I was a bank teller.
Yeah.
My mother was also a bank teller.
Yeah.
My mother has a friend who had a stalker. Or, like, had, like, a stalker story.
Yeah.
Of, like, she was working in a bank and, like, a stalker entered the bank and was apprehended by police. There were multiple people who I worked with who had active stalkers.
That's so weird.
So I don't know if it's, like, you working with an intimate part of people's lives because, like, business or, like, money is so personal.
Yeah.
Or it's just a weird coincidence between, like, my life and bank teller, like, the banking industry, and the fact that, like, also, like, me and my mother were both bank tellers. But, and then she said that she was a bank teller. Charlotte says that she was a bank teller, and that's how George, her stalker, found her.
Yeah.
And, like, that's where she got the stalker. And I was like, I don't know how to tell you this. A lot of bank tellers have stalkers. But we also, like,
That's
bank
crazy.
tellers also are, like, regularly interacted with. Like, they're one of the very few, like, remaining, like, continual customer service. So, like, if you continually get a paper check, you go to your bank and you usually see the same teller.
Yeah.
So that might be why too, even though that happens significantly less now. But I mean, like, there were still, like, quite a few customers when I worked at the bank that, like, came in and cashed their check every Friday. We knew who they were. They still had to give us their ID every time, but we knew exactly who they were. They would come in every Friday. I mean, there was sometimes that, like, we were calling people and be like, hey, you okay? Like, what's going on? Like, some of the older guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's part of it, but I thought that was a random coincidence that I knew about, that I was like, she's a bank teller.
Minute.
She's a bank teller. You gotta talk about
The bat.
You can talk about that.
Yeah. So we learn that you put a sock on the end of a bat, because when you go to hit someone and they try to grab it, that's their normal defense mechanism, and then they can pull it away from you, especially if you're the weaker one in the dispute. They grab it, but then they pull the sock, and it, like, they don't have leverage, and it just slides, and then they fall back, and then you have an opportunity to continue with your swing. It's awesome.
That's so smart.
I love it. You should also never wear scarves.
That's wild.
The more you know.
I was thinking of talking about his ex-wife.
They met 23andMe.
Not him and his ex-wife.
No, sorry. I'm so flabbergasted. I forgot to say, the person she left him for,
cheated on him first, then left him for.
majority of their relationship, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but I did kind of wonder if she cheated with multiple people and then found her second cousin once removed to marry.
Same last name.
That's wild.
They go to the family reunion together.
That's how they met.
No, they
They met 23andMe.
Yeah.
But then they go to the
It was pure gold. I honestly, it somehow takes the sting away a little more. Like, it's not as hurtful.
I have to say, there are a few things that I think could make you instantly fall out of love with someone. I do believe that is one.
Yeah. I agree. He deserved to be laughed at for it, though. Just a little.
She wasn't like totally laughing at him.
No, it was the situation.
But like, if someone tells you that, how are you not going to laugh?
Period. But also, the fact that the ex-wife left him.
Well, because he didn't know about it. Because she was cheating on him with the second cousin. And then I think she told him about it. I think that was a little unclear.
I just remember her, like, she was like, she left you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's unclear.
But he says that the ex-wife was cheating on him for
Yeah.
a while. So from what I gather, she was cheating with this dude for a while. And then she was like, all right, I'm done. Hey, bro, I'm leaving you for my second cousin. She probably was like, I'm leaving you for him. And then he was like, who's this dude? And she's like, my second cousin. It's not weird.
It still is.
Because people love to defend their bad decisions.
Also, the reason why he's an arborist.
Yeah, his family.
Yeah.
And then, like, more than just his family.
Yeah.
That was so sweet.
I loved it.
Can we talk about chapter 4?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so Seth gets caught putting lights on in their apartment oasis where they like have been chatting. Charlotte finally invites him into her actual apartment. He convinces her to paint.
Yes.
Then there are visitors from the retirement home, and we end in an almost kiss. But I don't give a fuck anything except those old ladies.
I love them. I love old people. I love the cookies.
Whore? She wrote whore on the sugar cookies.
And then it was circled in red and crossed out.
And then she made ab cookies. The fact that they had an argument and she was like, he's got 6 of those ab things. And she's like, the last time I saw him there was 8. What? What? I said Izzy has been booted off the throne.
A little bit.
Is this whole pack of women. Also, who is Brandon Skleiner?
Huh?
They referenced Brandon Skleiner, and I don't know who that is. I don't understand who he is. He's just an actor.
Let me see this man's.
I cannot move the screen.
Is he the one from 4?
He's in Westworld.
I have no clue.
I'm looking for anything that I recognize. Like, super recognize. He was in It Ends With Us, but gross. Don't ever see that. Don't support Colleen Hoover. I knew that before it was cool. I'm not gonna lie. He doesn't seem all that famous. I am simply confused.
He's kind of generic.
He's just a dude. He
Yeah.
can grow a pretty good mustache.
Yeah.
But I love the GoFundMe for the stairs. We'll start a GoFundMe for the stairs.
For the stairs. Like, the building wasn't gonna fix their mistake.
That's alright, we'll get you some stairs. I love it.
Oh, I love old people.
I also love that he was like, the driver came over and he was like, Marco, what are you doing? He's like, what was that gonna do?
It's like I had no choice.
What was that? We were worried about you, man. What was that gonna do?
Also, I can very well see those old ladies bullying that man.
They were gonna batter that man.
Yeah. 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 But they should have. He should have texted. He should have. That was funny. What are they going to do with the GoFundMe money?
That's a good question.
Because once it's there, can you return it?
I hope they just use it for the retirement home.
Period.
Also, a bonsai class for the retirement home. I'm obsessed.
Yes.
I want to take one.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, if it's a weekly thing, do you just do weekly trims together?
I think that's the thing.
Oh,
That's
that's so cool.
So, chapter 5 is in Seth's point of view. He calls Gabe to set up a surprise for Charlotte after the whole day together. Gabe and Izzy are together on the phone call, and Seth wants to help Charlotte because she doesn't deserve her suffering. And can I just say, I'm obsessed with the way that Seth's like, hey, I want to set up a surprise, but you can't tell Izzy. Because he's like, I have an inkling. And Izzy goes, can't tell me what, bro? Huh? You want to say it to my face?
She would have found out one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
One way or the other.
I love that so much. So chapter 6 is Charlotte's point of view. Izzy gives her blessing to, like, go after Seth. But Charlotte tries to break it off for fear of Seth being put in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Which is legit.
Yeah.
She's been actually, like, attacked at this point.
Yeah.
Seth says that Charlotte should meet his parents. That's a bold move, homie.
That's wild.
They have not spoken about dating, and he went, do you want to meet my parents?
You should meet my parents.
And he, bold-faced, let that hang in the air.
Yeah.
Like he already knew the answer.
Yeah.
She does gently push that a relationship is not something she can do. And I kind of love that he shot a shot, but it also really hurt that he shot a shot and it. They were both like, oh, yes, but no. And that was just sad. Chapter 7 is in Seth's point of view. Gabe and Izzy bring the surprise and end up together despite Izzy's meddling in her own affairs. Seth reveals he made a pool day for Charlotte for Valentine's Day because she said she missed the pool the most because of the stalker. And the Gabe and Izzy drama makes me so happy I can't handle it. It's hilarious.
The ground control to tower.
I love that.
Hilarious.
I can't get over that. She's like, I'm staying for. Give me $200, Izzy. She goes, give me $200. And he's like, yeah.
And then she gets mad.
She's like, wait, stop it! What are you doing? You're supposed to hate me. I like doing things for you, babe.
It was so cute.
I really you.
Aw.
And I was like, I'm obsessed with you.
That is one thing.
Together,
Sometimes
collectively.
I feel like some books, they have a secondary love story and it just feels forced or just like, okay. And
Mhm.
this one I also loved.
And I felt like this was really well written too, because I felt like we got enough of it, but not, like, sometimes I'm like, I don't care about these characters. Like, don't
Yeah.
I want the main love story? And sometimes I'm like, oh no, I don't care about the main love story. Give me more of them.
Yeah.
And it felt very well balanced, which
Yes.
is incredibly hard to do, especially like in an 80-page book.
Yes. Which is wild.
Can we talk about the orange peel test being used?
Yes.
That was
She
bananas.
was so sly about it too.
Like,
Also, Izzy said, I brought oranges. Izzy facilitated that so well.
oh, because Izzy brought it up like 2 chapters before.
Yeah.
She was like, I brought oranges. I brought oranges.
And he did it.
He did it, and then she was sad that he did it.
Yeah. And he didn't even question it.
He was like, yeah.
And then she split the orange with him.
No.
I'm crying.
I'm crying.
Ugh. He heated up water on the stove so it wouldn't be cold.
I would like to remind everybody that for this entire book, he has had a fractured ankle.
Yes. That's been being
Don't say
progressive.
that. I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to bleep that word.
That's how they described
I'm going to
it.
bleep that word.
It's been progressively hurting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
When I read it, I can skip over it with my ass.
That's an ick word for you?
I just don't like the bees at the end of it. I don't like the way they sound.
Oh, I do. We'll say it on the way home.
You won't, because you'll be too busy singing the Star Spangled Banner.
No, I'll probably be in silence this
That's disgusting. It's disgusting! Alright, chapter 7. No, chapter 8.
Chapter 8.
Charlotte's point of view. At the pool party, while trying to see Seth's abs, Izzy calls Charlotte, telling her to get inside. Somebody posted an Instagram video linking her address with her face in it, which is super dangerous. To leak your own address,
Yeah.
even if your face isn't in it. Anyway,
Yeah.
Seth gets them to take it down, but Charlotte has already spiraled until Seth convinces her she is ready to stay and not fully pack up and get out. Her reaction, she's like, I'm in a terrible situation. And then he takes off his shirt and she's like, okay, but those are really nice. Okay, this is
She
really...
said, I got some rethinking to do.
She said, oh no. It might be worse, really worse staying. Oh God. They really are. She
really are 8.
I was gonna say, she literally said, there are 8. Oh God.
Can confirm.
Can confirm. I think what I really love about this is he convinces her to stay, not being like, I really like you, stay for me. He does it in the adult way,
Yes.
with logical thinking of being like, you are ready.
Yeah.
You take self-defense classes. There
Yes.
are other people in your lives. He lists them. He talks about the fact that Jason, they can make a schedule, so there's another person there
Yeah.
to help her. And it's more than just romance. It's about this actual safety thing, which feels really forgotten and looked over in a lot of the books
Yeah.
like this. And it's what she deserves, it's what he deserves, to recognize that there are other people and other things in your lives.
Yeah.
And I have never had a relationship where there's not other things encroaching on it. And sometimes I hate in books where it's only the two of them.
Yeah.
Unless it's you're living on an isolated planet.
Love me a good alien romance.
Yep. That would work,
Yeah.
If that's how the world you're set up in, that would work. But I know that mine and my husband's relationship wouldn't work without us understanding the dynamics of ourselves as well as the dynamic of us in the broader spec of things, like
Yeah.
how we work within the world. And that's an adult thing to do.
Yes.
It requires communication and understanding of relationships and love and just liking a person.
Well, and emotional intelligence
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of books lack.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of books lack.
And this really helped that. And I think that creates such a beautiful moment for both of them. For her to be like, yeah, because it's empowering for her too. Because he's not saying stay for me. He's being like, look what you've done.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to have that person to be like, hey, you already know this.
Yeah.
You already know this, but you have to remember because every day is getting weirder.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
this. Yeah. Also, I love that Seth has a tree fact for everything. Everything.
Also, the quote, sometimes the start of something good begins during something bad. We don't get to pick when these things happen.
That's so true.
That's such a good reminder.
It really is.
It's just, I just love how realistic this is.
It's
But there's a happy ending.
There's a happy ending.
So it's great.
Chapter 9 is Charlotte's POV. Seth tells Charlotte he hasn't given up on anything, even when the stairs are in place. Even though she's kind of still like, nope, we're not having a relationship. When he goes into his apartment for a moment, her stalker George comes into view, stalking across the lawn to come after her. Charlotte goes full Hulk.
I will say in my brain, it was very much like a Jason Myers thing.
I don't watch scary movies.
He's the mask one that just kills people. Mike Myers. Not Jason, Michael.
I thought Michael Myers was an actor. I was thinking of this man, the Canadian actor.
Mike Myers. Oh, there he is with him. But
the guy from Wayne's World. That's who I was thinking of. That plays Austin Powers.
But in my brain, that's what was coming after her. Like, he was just in the trees watching her. And then they made eye contact. And then he started moving forward.
I pictured one of the rock trolls from Frozen. All my references are going to be kids' movies. And I don't have a choice. My brain is simply cut and paste stickers, and that's all I got.
Honestly, I love the energy we both bring.
Because she talks about him being like looking dirty and homeless, and like he hasn't like been living in somewhere for like a month.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, his hair's turned green, and he's caked in dirt, so he looks like a stone. So and also I think he's ugly.
I see it.
So I think he's the humanoid version of one of the rock trolls from Frozen, who are cute, but if you made them tall, they'd be terrifying.
I see it.
You go.
Can we talk about how she absolutely destroys that man?
Okay, so here's the only time I hate the word, like I hate using female and male, unless you're talking about like anatomy, or like in like science terms, but like I hate in books when you're talking about like a different species and it's like female and male. I hate that.
Yeah.
The only time I like the word female is when you're talking about female rage or feminine rage.
Hell yeah.
That's the only time it works. The only time it doesn't give me the ick. And this is when it worked. She had a full she was like, you know what? This is stupid.
Yes.
You are a troll. Like, you are horrific, and I hate you so much. And I was like, I feel it. I feel it.
Period.
To break his knees?
Love it. I always say I love playing the long game, you know? Like if I'm ever in a situation and I got like a knife or something, I'm going for the heels, I'm going for the behind the knees. I'm going for lasting damage. You are staying down. I don't want to kill people. I don't want that guilt on me. You are staying down.
No, I want to talk about the last. You're her. I'm him. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Period. But also her saying, "How dare he?" Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Because how dare he?
What kind of audacity does that man have to take anything from you?
How does he have so many chances to do this?
Screw the people that put you in that situation by not helping you.
Yes.
I want to be very, very clear, though. If anybody is watching this and has had a stalker or any kind of situation like this, you are not less than or terrible for being scared.
Mm.
You didn't let them take things from you. How dare they do that to you?
Correct.
They are in the wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. It's not that she, like, it's amazing that she was able to do this. She should have never had to spend a year doing self-defense courses to, like, find a best friend who was a PI, move multiple times, being terrified. That should have never happened in the first place. And it's not on her that it did. It's on him, and it's on the system that we live in.
Correct.
And so I want to make that very clear. And I think this book does make it very clear.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes when you distill it down, it can sound as though that's not what it means. But I think this book was incredibly clear on how much of a failure the law enforcement and judicial system is, at least in America, and I think in many, many other countries, for women who have things like this happening to them.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly more prevalent than you would think. As I said, I know a significant amount of people who have had stalkers, and that is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
That is a wild sentence to say.
Yeah. I do love, though, that Charlotte says, "Do not come any closer to me or I will defend myself."
Yeah.
Like, if this ever went to court, she gave a warning. You are being a threat.
Yep.
I will defend myself.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I will attack you. I will do anything. If you move, I will take it as aggression and I will act accordingly in self-defense.
Yeah. I think it sucks that she had to.
It does.
Because there was clearly a pattern of behavior.
Oh, 100%.
And so, like, it sucks that she had to. But that is very smart. I mean, protect yourself as much as you can in whatever you can. Sometimes your words can truly save you in a lot of situations. And in this specific space, it wasn't saving her from him. It was saving her from a lot of situations later on.
Yes.
That would have really, really could have been an issue.
Yeah. Which shouldn't be, but could be. Also, Charlotte made the comment that it was almost anticlimactic, like 5-second stops. I was like, I know. I would have liked like a good couple second hits, you know?
But I think that's the point.
I know.
Like, it's not supposed to be. Like, in real life, it is anticlimactic.
I know.
It's never as flashy as you think it should be. And I think this had a bigger message than being just a book.
Yeah. That's true.
But we get to chapter 10, which is Seth's POV, and he gives a statement to police and then gets Charlotte situated with Izzy, then threatened George with a burial under a protected tree, which I find genius. And this is what I mean. You would hit him in the knees. I would bury him under a tree they cannot dig up.
Yep. Honestly, it's smart.
And then finally he gets
So
the
smart.
girl. Hang on. I have it highlighted, I think. Because we have to acknowledge how good this is. Seth says, "If you ever come back here," I whispered, "you won't find her. You'll find me. And then no one will ever find you."
Period.
Excellent. Wonderful.
Mic drop. And that is how we defend.
And that's how we defend. Also, sometimes all it takes is the demonstration that someone is more than willing to fight for you after you've fought for yourself that will stop a second round. Because fighting for yourself will not always. The support system sometimes is what really can shift.
I agree. And I think this had a good turnout. But I do also, in general, get annoyed with the fact that sometimes men don't take no from women, but as soon as another man says no, then they accept it.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
That pisses me off so bad.
I fully agree with that statement.
Yeah. I don't think that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
I think this is much more a support system rather than just a man. But like that, like just the whole trope of like this dude is coming on to me and I have to act like this random man I'm gonna try to trust is either my boyfriend or my husband or something like that to get this creep away from me.
Yeah.
Trope in a book, love it. We love to see it. But in real life, discussing.
I think the difference for this book specifically was like he was on a gurney to go into an ambulance and he had very clearly he was trying to get away from her.
Yeah.
At that point, like he'd gotten the message. George had gotten the message and was not about to. So I think this was just more a show of support, but it was the timing in which he showed the support that made it him showing the support instead of getting the win.
Yes. Because it was after she beat him up. It was...
She had the moment.
Yes. He was lifting her up, not a shield. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it also was the lead up to it where he was like, "Hey, you can stay because you have the ability to. Whether you date me or not, doesn't matter. You have the support system and the defenses and all of that." That was all stuff that was important. She taught him the trick about the baseball bat. That's what she used to beat up her stock. That was all part and parcel to what made it her moment.
Yeah.
And her being the champion of that space and him being like, yeah. Just her backup.
Yeah.
I don't know, the extra guy on a rap album that just goes, yeah, in the background. That was, his death threats were cool and they were written really well.
Yeah.
But he was kind of the background because that's what he needed to be.
Yeah.
And it was timing.
Yeah. And this is what... Eating It Up, written by a woman. We love to see it.
We love to see it.
We love to see it.
We love to see it. And I have to say, I love them.
Yes.
I could die.
Yes.
A blink of an eye for a redwood, but timeless for me is one of the most iconic love lines I have ever read in my life.
Honest, and
I cried.
It was so cute, and it's also a great pep talk to yourself.
Yeah.
If you're, because that's how I took it, was if you're getting nervous about something, if you're, for me, talking in big groups is nervous, and so just thinking about it of in the blink of an eye of a redwood, It's no big deal.
I love that. And then, like, in the moments that you really want to, like, last in your memory, it's like, but this is timeless to me.
Yeah.
I love that. The epilogue is in Charlotte's POV, and it's game night with Izzy and Gabe, and you find out that Charlotte is moving into Seth's apartment, and then Izzy and Gabe are moving into Charlotte's old apartment. Monthly game night is amazing. That's a great thing. I love that. We try to have at least monthly D&D sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that they're like talking about stuff, and Seth makes a joke about Charlotte killing plants. She's like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "I'm just kidding, babe. Those plants should have tried harder." And I'm like, that's very sarcastic. That sounds like something my husband would say to me.
But also, as a certified plant parent, sometimes they just die. You know?
I think me and you have talked about this. One of the best things that Belle ever said to me, because I was like, I kill plants. Like, I don't really want to do plants. She's like, you can do plants. And I was like, I'm scared. She's like, I kill them all the time. They die all the time. And then we went to one of the shops near us. She's like, oh yeah, no, the air plants are great because if you kill them, they're still pretty.
Yep.
They're hard to take care of, but if you kill them, they look great. And you kill other stuff, and you gotta throw out the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love that this is a hobby. Everything that, like, dying, just a normal part of
Yep.
killing them.
They could be thriving, and then something went wrong. 1 second of their life, they said, "That's it. I'm gone." And I'm like, you were going strong so far, and they're sneaky too, because they'll act like they're not dying, and I'll like side eye them for months, and they'll be like, "Your roots are a little weak there, my friend," but they're like, "I'm green," and then a week later, dead. I'm like, ugh.
And then you have things like my cactus.
I love your cactus. Your baby is having baby.
I don't know what is.
I love it.
I had a little Mickey Mouse cacti. It has so many sprouts now.
So many, and it started with like 3 or 4, for the longest time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now she's as happy as can be. I love her.
I need to replant her.
You do.
Repot her, because she's like not fitting. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my llama mug though, because I'm sad she's not gonna fit in there anymore.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I can't wait for it to be warm and I can actually do things with my plants. And get more.
Any more thoughts on the book?
No. It was happy.
I loved that.
Like, this is one that I wish was longer because I want to be comfy cozy for longer. Not because I felt like the story needed to go on. But
this is one I will reread.
Yeah.
When I'm like after some time has passed, I'll be like, I just want something like nice and cozy. Like I will reread this and enjoy it.
Be
for
happy.
sure, because this is just like a nice, even, which is wild to say about a stalker book.
Yes.
Like,
because is stalker one of your subjects?
It is usually.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any issues with this one.
I like this one. It's nice. Makes me happy.
It did make me happy.
I wish I didn't have to work tomorrow. I want to read.
Okay, you ready for book news?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We've been on the struggle bus. So I've been watching a dumb amount of like gay men reacting to reality television.
I'm here for it.
So I'm not super up on the book news right now. So I want to talk about something that like I just find interesting in general.
Heck yeah.
So that
do it.
talk about fantasy book balls.
Okay. The loading time?
Yes!
My brain was like, fantasy.
The panic that I saw on your face was amazing.
The fantasy disco balls? And then it clicked like a dance.
So, yeah. So most of them are, like, modeled after, like, a Court of Thorns and Roses.
Correct.
Like a Starfall ball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you, like, dress up and you go. And some of them are, like, conventions where you do it, like, it's 2 days. So you, like, meet authors and get signings and stuff like that. Just to be clear, I love A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I love the book. I have found out that Sarah J. Maas may be a problematic author. Every time I try to figure out what is going on, I just find a bunch of information about how people hate her books and no information about why she might actually be problematic. So I don't really know what's going on there, but if I don't really care about her. So the books are just nostalgic and not really a literature, like a piece of literary masterpiece. So please don't hate me for liking that book. Or that book series. I also haven't, like, read all her books or anything like that. People just yell really, really loud about her a lot on the internet. like a lot.
Yeah.
So, anyway. People also yell, because, like, I ended up stumbling into a lot of the hate for Sarah J. Maas because of this fantasy, like, these fantasy...
Oh.
Because a lot of times there's, like, cosplayers for her characters at these balls.
Mm-hmm.
People really hate these things. Like, hate them.
Why?
And they're, like, really mad that they happen.
The balls?
Yeah.
Why?
Like, so much.
It's... How is it so much different than, like, a Comic-Con?
I kind of agree.
Like, if there's going to be book signings sometimes, people are dressing up. No one... Like, it's a dance. What do they hate about it?
So sometimes it's just people organize them badly.
Valid.
So that's valid. So, like, do better. I think a lot of times it's people really like to hate on, like, you doing something that you enjoy, like, doing something very noticeable for something that you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So, these, like, a lot of these characters in, like, are adult fantasy romance characters, which means that they are sexualized because they engage in adult activities. Most of the time explicitly on page.
Yeah.
And so some of the time, like, the cosplayers are very sexualized.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons that people hate it, because it's, like, trivializing literature, which I don't know that I would class A Court of Thorns and Roses as literature.
Yeah.
It's definitely a book that got written. But I'm going to tell you, I have a degree in the subject. I don't know if I would say it's literature. Based on the connotation y'all are putting to that word.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't look at Captain Underpants and I'm like, oh my god.
It's literature.
This needs to go in a museum right now. Like, it's entertainment.
Captain Underpants has been banned in multiple states. So actually it does need to go to a museum.
I read that. I read so much of that.
I can't believe you brought that up. Yeah, it's one of the most banned books.
'Cause he's in his underwear?
It's sexualized content.
What part of Captain Underpants is sexualized?
His underpants. Belle, I want to be very clear about this. Anyone can ban a book or challenge a book at any time. You do not have to have any qualifications to challenge a book in a school system, at a state level. You don't have to have a qualification. There's no federal banning system as I don't think. libraries. I don't know, but it's mostly state. You do not have to have any qualifications. Any. My 3.5-year-old could decide she hates a book, take it to a meeting, and request a challenge.
That's crazy.
Some states have a few qualifications that you have to meet, like being over the age of 18. As far as I understand, our state does not.
And it's only banned in the school systems, correct?
You can ban it in libraries.
That's so annoying.
Public libraries. Which are now fully defunded, by the way.
Fully?
I will not talk about that.
Okay.
I will not be talking about that because I'm so upset about it that I cannot talk about that.
Okay. Balls.
I think a lot of the hatred comes from just hating on girls.
Having a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
There is an incessant need in me to dress up. All the
Yes.
time. I always want to wear a
I
pink
need
dress.
a reason.
Give me a reason to dress up.
Exactly.
I'll be there.
A reason to dress up fantasy? Half the reason I want to go to a run fair is to dress up. The other half, turkey leg.
You and these damn turkey legs.
Because I haven't gotten one yet.
We went to medieval times for her birthday last year, and we got the upgraded tickets because it was her birthday. And they took away her turkey leg and gave us a more fancy meal. And she was like, "This wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it.
I'm like,
all I was here for was the turkey leg."
literally. The show was really good.
It was really good.
But I wanted me a turkey leg.
We drove 3.5 hours. All I
No
wanted
turkey
was
leg.
a turkey leg.
No turkey leg.
No turkey leg. Not a turkey leg in sight. Actually, there were
No.
turkey legs in sight, and that made it worse.
I ignored them.
And instead, we got a half a chicken.
It was good.
It was so good.
I don't know why it was so good.
And I will tell you, here you go. Medieval times is wildin'. I have never liked a tomato soup in my life. They put a drug in that tomato soup. I have never liked a tomato soup in my life. I drank that and then finished Dominic's. I
It
was
was
like,
so good.
thank you. I will
It
take
was so
that.
good. I want to go back. Please.
I'll do it.
Period.
Or we could go to a fair. There's one that happens here.
Yes. I think I already have it in my calendar.
The tickets are also usually really expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
For the ball.
For the ball.
Got it. I don't know. Unless your activity is like hurting others or hurting others non-consensually or spreading bad propaganda, let people do what they want.
Yeah, I don't. So I think some people take offense because it like people don't like Sarah J. Maas, so it's promotion for her books.
It's a whole genre.
And then that's what I thought. But also people, I think, don't like that. People that attend tend to. This is always interesting. Like, I saw some discourse about like sexualizing the people that are at these balls because they're dressed up as these characters.
Okay.
But also, as far as I understand, no sexual harassment has happened or anything like that. It's just like this idea that, oh my god, he's so hot.
But also, is that not the point?
Yeah, I don't. I think so, and I think maybe that's why people take it like an issue with it. Like we shouldn't have something that sexualizes people, but also if they're voluntarily doing it, like isn't that just kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like a circle.
I don't know.
This kind of feels like to me the thing where like a bunch of parents got mad that Sabrina Carpenter's like concert wasn't kid friendly
Yes, even
after she'd put out her album
yeah.
and all the music videos to go along with the album
Yeah.
and was suing like was getting sued by the state of New York for filming an inappropriate music video in a Catholic church.
I thought that was the church that was suing her.
I don't remember.
I think it was the church because
it ended up like getting the mayor involved, and he got like
yeah.
So I thought it was the state of New York.
No, I don't think so. I think it was just church, because they were supposed to do it outside, but they actually did it inside, and the church is like, we didn't know that's what it was about.
Bro, if you signed the contract.
Period.
And that's a Disney girl. You think she doesn't got lawyers on lawyers on lawyers?
Oh, 100%.
Who has an ironclad contract?
Period.
Good for her. But like, it feels very much like that.
Yeah.
It was like we just want to be mad about something.
Yeah.
But also forcing your values and views on someone because you don't want to control what's going on in your own life or your kids' lives.
It's also, you have to pay to attend. It's not a free to the public thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to go if you don't want to. I never get that when people like, ugh. I don't know. The general public.
It's also giving cartoon covers.
Cartoon covers?
Where they were like, cartoon covers, it makes it seem like they're for kids. No, it doesn't. Read the back.
People be wild out here.
Yeah. I think they seem really fun. People like wear wings and stuff, which I think would be really cool to see. I want to know what kind of music they play.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, do you play music like my middle school dance so that I can like get low? Or are you playing like ethereal stuff because I'm going to stand awkwardly in the corner because I don't know what to do with that?
I think it depends on what's happening. If it's like the social time, it's probably like tavern stuff. Tavern stuff. And then eventually it'll probably like, once they like get like the lights going and stuff, I feel like then it would be like an actual dance.
That's when Little John will come on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least if I was running it, that's what would happen.
I would love to have like another prom.
Yeah.
I say that as a pageant girl. I've worn so many pretty dresses. I'm also a theater girl, and like I've worn so many costumes. I would do it every day if I could.
Also, I saw a video of prom before smartphones. Everyone was having fun. Everyone was dancing. There was not just one circle of people in the middle.
Jersey turnpike?
Yeah.
I was always in that weird, like, extra circle on the outside, just, like, doing the most outrageous dances.
As you should.
Honestly. Actually dancing and having fun.
I love dancing, and there's nowhere to go dancing around here. I'm so sad.
I love dancing, and I'm really, really good at choreographed dances. I love dancing. I'm terrible at freestyle dancing, and I will still do it with my whole chest.
As you should. My brain juice is drained.
I agree. I think that's all for us. Attend a ball if you can. I think it sounds fun.
Yeah.
Let people do their own hobbies.
Period.
Also, I think we need a better system for stalking, but maybe we need women's rights back first. So if any of you can work on that, that'd be great.
That's a tall order, my friend.
Well, that's why I'm giving him to somebody else.
Smart gal. Smart.
I'm giving it over. I have a blood sugar under an amount that should be healthy, so I've got nothing.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to other people. We're all done here.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next time. Well, we don't know what we're reading, do we?
Not yet.
It will be a surprise for you and me. We'll see you next week with Book Bites
Ooh.
on Zodiac Academy. And then the week after that, who knows what we'll do. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.